Hello, and welcome back to the Taste Buds podcast. We're happy to have you here. Kelsey, how the heck are you?
Oh, I'm really good. No, I'm good. As always, I know I say this all the time. I'm like, it's such a crazy busy week, but I just need to accept that that is my job and that's what my life is going to be. It's
That's
not
the
busy,
life
it's
you lead.
normal.
Those are the cards that have been dealt, but you've also chosen the deck.
I have
So,
dealt this
if
deck
you
to
will.
myself, which is good.
Yeah, I think you'd be bored if you didn't
I would
have
be
this
bored.
deck of cards dealt to you.
I get bored so easily.
Yeah, I feel you with that.
You know, when your client uses your session as like a therapy session.
Yes. That's something that a lot of people don't realize. And I've gotten this question point blank before, like just about being a dietitian and a private nutrition coach, is that these sessions are very similar to therapy sessions because nutrition is a very sensitive topic for a lot of people, as it should be. It's your health
Mm-hmm.
and it's about your body, which is very private. So a lot of them are like really are therapy sessions. And I had someone ask me that last year, and I forget how they phrased it, but they were like, does it take a long time to like, or do people really like dive deep during these sessions? And I was like, it's similar to a therapy session. That's a really touchy subject with a lot of people battling with dieting for so long. And she was really taken aback because I think diet culture makes nutrition seem so easy and like
Yeah.
2 plus 2 is 4. Well, if you just do this, then you're fine, you're fixed, and everything's good. And it's so much deeper than that. It's
Yeah.
emotional and it's so much
It's
deeper.
so deep set. And honestly, the clients that know the most about nutrition are usually the ones that use it as a therapy session the most because they're like, I know so much. What do I do? And I'm like, I
I know
feel
too
ya.
much.
And they're like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm so confused. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Understandable.
Yeah.
Totally understandable. Because it's a really touchy subject. So we totally get you guys that it makes a lot of sense. I was so exhausted yesterday after work and client meetings and all this stuff and everything I have going on and stress. I went to bed at 7 p.m. and slept all the way through until my alarm rang.
Wow.
And normally I can't fall asleep that early. I was just so tired. So
That's impressive. I wish I could fall asleep at 7.
it doesn't happen normally, but I was glad that I did. I almost didn't get in bed and almost forced myself to go get more work done. But this is your sign if you're listening to this right now and you are feeling physically, emotionally, or mentally exhausted, is to just take a minute and go to bed early
Yeah.
because I feel so much better and more refreshed today. Mental clarity.
That's really nice. I'm impressed. I'm a little bit jealous. And I probably need to do the same.
It was one of those things where I was like battling with myself. I was like, oh, I could really get a lot done. There's so much on my plate, so much I have to do. But I knew the sleep would help me be a better dietitian and show up better for clients and patients
That's
and
the
stuff.
thing. Honestly,
So and yourself well, like when you're at that point that you need to force yourself to make the decision to sleep instead,
mhm.
anyway.
Yeah, that's so true. Like I definitely find that on my busiest weeks, I'm like, oh, I haven't even like showed up for my clients this week. I feel like I'm kind of out of it. It's probably also more of like a guilt thing on myself that I'm like,
Hmm.
I need to be better.
Well, it's good that you're always looking to improve.
That's true. That's true.
Hmm.
I do find that
That's all we can ask of ourselves.
that's so true. I do value people that, you know, make an effort to work on themselves. I think that's really cool. People that do that. And that's why I love my clients because they're all here to see me.
They're amazing. They inspire me
They
so
really do.
much.
They're so
Oh.
cool.
All right, shall we jump into our episode for the
We
day?
we should. So this week we have a theme of gut health. Yeah.
That was such a dramatic entrance or
Thank you. Thank
what's the word I'm
you.
looking for?
Um
Presentation.
Before we jump in, because we have a few questions to talk about, but we don't really talk about like the gut in general. And I know we've talked about it on the podcast in the past, but maybe we can just like do a brief overview of gut health.
I love that idea. Kelsey, do you want to kick us off?
Sure. So, just in general, I think that sometimes gut health can be a little bit overwhelming because you hear about it
Absolutely.
all the time, and it's like you see so many articles that are like these things in your gut are so important, and it can be a little bit stressful because you can't see it, and it's all about like microbiome and
Mhm.
microbacteria, and you're like, oh my gosh, I have these little bugs in my body, and you do, and that's okay because they're good. So
We like them. We'll keep
yeah,
them.
we do like them. But just the way that I think about the gut microbiome is just imagine that you have this amazing I always compare it to like a coral reef.
Yes,
um
I've heard you say this before.
yes, because it's like coral reefs are so colorful and they have all of these different types of species and organisms, and they have all these different things that keep it going, and they all work together to keep going. They
Hmm.
use each other for food and shelter and
Can I interject for a
yeah,
second? Because you're really reminding me of that beginning scene in Finding Nemo
exactly.
when
That's
they like fly through, or not fly through, when they swim through
mm-hmm.
that like sea anemone
Yeah,
to clean themselves, but the sea anemone like uses them to. It just made me think of that.
and then
So
it
I
like
love the analogy.
yeah, so that's how I picture the gut microbiome. It is an extra organism in your body that contains all of these small bacteria that all work together to do things in your gut, but also do things for your whole body. Your gut has a really big effect on things like inflammation and mental health, all these things
Mhm.
that it can really affect. So that's why it's so important for us to stay on top of our gut health and kind of make sure that we're feeding ourselves things that help our gut. And the best thing, I know we've said it before, but the best thing you can do for your gut is literally to eat everything. Um, Eat a diverse amount of foods, eat lots of fruits and
Mhm.
vegetables, eat fiber, eat your fats, protein, all of those things are going to be helpful for your gut. So, as long as you're eating a balanced plate, your gut should be pretty happy.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah. Okay, so hopefully that was helpful. Now we can jump into some questions.
Let's do it.
All right, I'm going to ask you a question first, April.
Okay.
What could be causing my bloating?
This is a really great question, and it's a very loaded question. And it's hard to answer specifically to you, whoever you are that asked this, just because I don't know you, your history, what you eat, what you do for a living, the movement you get in, and all that good stuff. But there's a lot of different things that could cause bloating. One of the main things that I see is just um, poor gut health in terms of experiencing lots of diarrhea or constipation and things like that, just because a lot of people are lacking fiber or adequate balance of micronutrients and macronutrients in their diet. So a lot of that can be helped by increasing your fiber intake, making sure you're drinking enough water, making sure you're getting movement in to help with those bowel movements if you do experience constipation or diarrhea and things like that. Another thing that could be causing bloating could be stress. If you experience a lot of stress in your life, something to maybe, what I always like to suggest to people when they are experiencing maybe symptoms like bloating, nausea, diarrhea, things like that, is to track when they do experience these symptoms to see when you're experiencing them. Do you always get really bloated before you're in college, before you're about to take a big exam? You didn't really put two and two together until you started tracking it. Or, you always have diarrhea right after you eat dairy products and maybe you're lactose intolerant. Sometimes there's a pattern there that we just don't realize until we put a pen to paper. Another thing that could be causing bloating could be a food sensitivity. So there are a lot of different things, but my first step that I would recommend is start by just writing it down. Write down every time you feel bloated, the day, the time, and if you are feeling very up for the task, you could also in turn write down what you eat every day so you can then compare that to your bloating, or maybe what went on in your life that day to then compare that to your bloating, and you may surprise yourself that you may see kind of a pattern. Or if you're not seeing anything there, pay attention to your bowel movements. Are you going to the bathroom regularly. I know that's not a fun topic to talk about, but it is all about nutrition, and that can cause bloating too.
Yeah, definitely. No, I totally agree. I would definitely recommend journaling, writing it down. If you are one of those people that likes to use tech to do things, there's a really good app called Care. It's CARA space care. And it's really, really good for tracking things for like digestive issues. You
Oh, I
don't
like
have
that.
to put in any amounts, you don't get any nutrition information. It's literally just you can track your food. It's just like a little food log. But it'll use AI to generate kind of insights for you. So it'll tell you, hey, every time you eat this food, you have this symptom, which is really cool. So,
Oh,
so
that
if
is
you're
cool.
one of those people that likes gadgets and likes using tech to do things like that,
Hmm.
I suggest you give it a go.
Yeah, I love that example. Thanks for that idea, Kelsey.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, let's move on to our next question.
Okay.
Next question is, can taking probiotics really be better for my skin?
That's a good question. So there's a lot of research out there in the world. And I think it's hard for me to honestly say yes or no because there is research that supports it. Um, I don't know if taking a probiotic will single-handedly clear your skin. Um, so I don't want to, make that correlation there, but there is, you know, research that says having healthier gut is better for skin issues and it can be
Mhm.
good for reducing inflammation. It can be good for um, reducing skin redness and rashes and eczema and things like that. So I I personally wouldn't recommend a probiotic if you have skin issues. I'm not a dermatologist. Um, but, taking a probiotic probably won't hurt as long as you are choosing a good probiotic, choosing a good supplement, which we've talked about before. If you're choosing a good supplement, it probably can't hurt with anything that you're doing. If you're taking it for having better gut health, if you're taking it for, just better health in general, I'd say, go for it if you want to. But I wouldn't single-handedly say this will take care of your skin.
I definitely agree, and this kind of goes back to things we've touched on before. No one thing is going to single-handedly fix everything.
Yeah.
If you do have, bad skin, whatever that means to you, if you believe you have bad skin, I wouldn't assume that taking a probiotic is just going to automatically fix everyone's bad skin. Maybe what bad skin was coming from a unhealthy gut, and taking probiotic helps improve your gut health, and therefore it helped improve your skin. That could be what it was. But there could be someone else out there who has unhealthy skin, and what they need is the prebiotic, not the probiotic, in order to help with their gut health. So it's very individualized, but I could certainly see it being a factor in helping improving skin in some individuals.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, we're not dermatologists, so
Right.
I
Not
I
gonna.
I can't tell you how to fix your skin. But do keep in mind that there are a lot of factors that go into skin health as well, like nutritional factors, but also, you know, sometimes it's just genetic, sometimes it's stress related, sometimes it's hormone related, sometimes and hormones do, you know, or your gut health does have an effect on hormones as well. So, it could stem from that. But again, I would recommend you talk to a skin professional to really find the base problem because they'll be able to help you the most.
Yeah, and then touch base with a dietitian if you are concerned about your gut health and maybe
Yeah,
are having gut issues, and work with a dietitian that you trust, and maybe they can help identify if you do need that probiotic or maybe a prebiotic or maybe neither.
definitely.
And again, as a reminder that you can get pre and probiotics from food. And actually, this kind of leads into our next question,
Yeah, it
if you
does.
want to ask it, Kelsey.
Sure. So the next question that April just alluded to is what is the difference between prebiotics and probiotics?
So we've kind of touched on this before, but just continuing on from what I was just talking about. Just in the simplest way, probiotics are good bacteria, and prebiotics are the food for good bacteria. So, and both pro and prebiotics can be found in the food that we eat. It's not necessary to take a supplement to get your pro and prebiotics. With this, it's kind of the same thing I say with any other supplement. I would say, if the foods that you would get pro and prebiotics from are foods that you don't like, you have a sensitivity to, or you just don't want to eat, therefore you are having a deficiency in your pre and probiotics, then I would suggest taking a supplement. But if these are all foods that you like and you can eat and you want to eat, then I would suggest getting them from whole food sources. Probiotics you can get from things like fermented yogurt, like kefir. I know we talked about this before about how to pronounce that.
Kefir.
Kefir. I know we pronounce that differently.
Sorry to everyone that knows how to do it and we're not doing it correctly.
And we're butchering it.
Yeah.
And other fermented foods. And then something like a prebiotic you could get are found in things like fruits and vegetables and whole grains and things with fiber.
Yeah.
That's Love kind it. Of the quick and the dirty.
The quick and the dirty, for sure. Yeah, and like April kind of talked about before, a lot of those sources can come from food. And something to keep in mind too is sometimes it can be easy to just say, "Oh, I'm taking a supplement for it. I don't have to worry about like the food part of it." But honestly, if you're able to get all of your nutrients from food, which we definitely are able to get all of our nutrients from food, it'll probably save you some money.
Absolutely.
And just save you some stress and time and extra stuff to do in the long run. So, my main recommendation for that is, try to get as much as you can in with food. If you feel like you're lacking, again, you can always talk to a dietitian and or a doctor or whoever you want to talk to see if you want to add those extra supplements in. But I mean, the good thing about prebiotics and probiotics is that if you are supplementing them, as long as you're getting a good supplement, it can't really hurt, Except if you're eating a lot of fiber, because prebiotics are usually fiber, and if you're having a lot of fiber, it can cause some delay, some slowing down of the system. I don't know. I feel like I see so many probiotics and just supplements in the market that are like, yeah, just take it. So I'm like, I don't know.
Just messing with your gut health and really, like we talked about, is linked to so many other things, your hormones, your mental well-being. It's just something I wouldn't suggest, it can be easy to mess with. So it's something I wouldn't suggest just taking willy-nilly. Something like I said, the multivitamin, when that just has what we call fat and water-soluble vitamins, those very hard to overdose in, and they just provide amazing benefits, and there's really not any negativity I could see coming from that. That is a little less harmful just to choose to take on your own, but the pre and probiotic, that could cause more issues, I would say.
That's true. Fair. All right. Well, I think that's everything we have to cover for this week, April. That was nice. I like talking about the gut. Me
too. Maybe we'll do it more.
Yeah, I know. I personally find it really interesting. I know that a lot of people do, but it can be really confusing too. So
yeah, if you have, as a listener, have any more questions regarding gut health, please submit them. Submit them to our email. Submit them over Instagram, and we love to answer them. We can certainly do another episode about gut health. Also, should we introduce our guest that's coming next week, or tease our guest?
Yeah, let's tease our guest.
We're so excited because we have the first guest coming on the Taste Buds podcast next week. And she's another dietitian. She's absolutely amazing and knows her stuff so well. I will keep the topic hidden or secret for now, and then I guess we'll release it shortly before the episode. So stay tuned. She's just lending another perspective, being in the field, and it's gonna be great.
I'm so excited.
Yay. All right, we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you so much, guys, for listening. And as always, please just give us a like, star, rating, comment, review, subscribe, follow, whatever it is. It really helps us and we really appreciate it. And we love to hear from you guys.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, have a great day and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.